Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan. We're talking NFL Draft this week, and we're only a few days away. We're in the NFC South right now. If you've been following along, we're doing the the mock draft simulation from the draftnetwork.com's simulator using one team at a time against their predictive board. Talking top 100 picks because that's the bulk of NFL rosters. I understand there's outliers like the Antonio Browns and Tom Brady's of the world, but the bulk of the roster is going to be the top 100 picks. For the Falcons, lots of changes for the coordinators, not so much in the personnel. Somehow the head coach stayed around, even though his offensive, defensive, and special teams coordinators all got the axe. So Quinn has to make this team a consistent contender, and he's got one off season to do it, or else he's getting the boot. Thankfully, he's got a quarterback and a world-class wide receiver. The offense has the personnel to really do what it wants. So, they need to rebuild this defense. That was the weakness of the team. I understand they had injuries to deal with, but anytime your defense is as porous as Atlanta's was last year, that's obviously going to be the focus in the draft. Now, what I started off with at pick number 14 was Christian Wilkinson, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Now, Clemson's defensive line is going to be all essentially going in the first round, the top three of them at the very least. The outside defensive end that's not Clelin Ferrell, he's probably going to go like second or third round, but all of them are going in this draft. Okay, they're fantastic. Wilkinson is prototype defensive tackle. You know, he's good against the run. He's got some movement. You know, he's going to eat up blockers. He's not a chump against the pass. He can get after the quarterback when need be. Kind of player that Quinn needs on this defense right now. They've got some edge rushing talent there, and getting some beef up the middle to eat up blockers and get after the running back is going to be a supreme step in the right direction for this defensive unit. I did add an edge rusher at pick number 45 in Ja'Kai Polite. Now, a lot of people actually had Polite in the first round at a certain point, and they've got him falling down boards because, from what I understand, he's not doing very well in the interview process. Maybe on the whiteboard, he's not doing well with the concepts that defensive coordinators are throwing at him. I'm not quite sure, but the word on him right now is he's falling, so he might be available even later. But looking at his game film out of Florida, the guy was fantastic, so I'm not really sure why he's falling as much as he is. It might just be smoke that people are blowing in order to put some spice on their draft coverage. I mean, obviously it's the only thing to talk about for the NFL for a few months, and then it just kind of dries up. So any controversy you can stir up, great, right? Pick number 79, I went with Isaiah Johnson, corner out of Houston. Guy's got a good frame. He's bigger than the average corner. He can move. And corner is more of an instinctive position, so he's going to contribute right away. He might be a slot corner, maybe a number 2 corner. He's definitely not a number 1 corner right now. On this team, with the amount their defense really needs, he's going to step into a contributing role in one fashion or another pretty much immediately. All of these guys will, and that's what Quinn needs. Quinn needs to flex those defensive muscles that he brought with him from Seattle and prove that he actually deserves to stick around. If he makes a drastic improvement on defense, and these picks will help him in that direction, he can stay, but he really needs to improve. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones and company, they tend to be up and down every season, so every other year they're fantastic. Good news for Quinn. It's pretty bad last season, so hey, they'll be great this year, right? Maybe they won't have the injury bug biting their offensive line as bad as it did last year and their defense as bad as it did last year, and they can do something better. But honestly, I don't see it happening. I don't think Quinn and Matt Ryan are the kind of guys that turn a franchise around. I don't see that will factor about them. And You saw that in the Super Bowl when they choked away a 28-point lead. So, maybe not 28. It was 28-3, something like that. But yeah, I don't think they recover from that. I really don't. I think the team's going to get blown up. And this year, the Saints are too good for Atlanta to break out of the division. And they're not going to do anything because of it. Sorry, Falcons fans, but you're in for a rebuild around the corner.